With Boston Red Sox pitcher Steven Wright from Valley View High School named to his first Major League Baseball All-Star Game. That's coming up in the second segment. And the new head coach of the King High School baseball team, the great Steve Madril, leaving JW North after a decade of success with the Huskies, taking his talents over to King High School. So a big show, and we're going to talk RCC football with Cameron in the final segment. It's all brought to you by Adrenaline Athletic Training in Corona. AdrenalineAthletic.com is the website for more information on their training programs and travel ball teams. Spoiled, quick, quality oil change. I am going there after the show today. That is a true story. I will be there getting the oil change in my car. It was Spoiled. And Remax Advantage. Nobody sells more real estate than Remax Advantage, 909-307-5665. And if you're a baseball fan tonight at the 66ers game against Lancaster, Remax Advantage has a big giveaway. It's Stormtrooper beanies. And if you're a Star Wars nerd like me, that's a must-have. So that's tonight, Star Wars night, Remax Advantage, Stormtrooper beanie, as the 66ers host the Lancaster Jethawks, 7:05 first pitch from San Manuel Stadium. All right, like I said, we've got to stay the course today. There's too much going on. I've got to stay in my lane, and we've got to give these guys plenty of time to talk about their upcoming season. We're talking about the Rancho Verde High School. The Mustangs are in the house to talk about the upcoming season. And first off, guys, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. And the 7-on-7 season is in full swing, right? I mean, you guys just played Vista Marietta last week. How'd you guys look?
Yeah, we look good, Coach. Yeah, we look really well.
Really good.
Yes.
So what have you guys liked about, I know it's 7-on-7, most coaches will say that it's not real football, but still, I mean, there's got to be some good takeaways from it, right? So what did you guys do well in 7-on-7?
We played more like a team, and 7-on-7, you know, usually somebody just pops out, but I think we spread the ball evenly, and on the defense we rallied and did what was needed.
So you guys had a great season last year.
Yes.
10-3.
Yes.
To the semifinals in the Inland Division, but now you're in Division 3.
Yes.
So it's a little bit different now. The CIF Southern Section threw us a curveball. They mixed everything up. Did you guys look at the other teams in your bracket, or does it really matter? It's just you guys just got to take care of your own business in the first place.
It really doesn't matter. We have to take care of our business first. We have to get through a whole season before we get to the playoffs first. So we worried about one game at a time and just go through the process and just get better every day when we're at practice.
Now, Brian Thompson, obviously not shy of the microphone. He's been on here before. Coach Steinberg, who else did you bring on the show today from the Rancho Verde High School? Coach Steinberg is standing off to the side like he's never like he doesn't want to talk or something.
I'm just here to watch. This is their time. They're entertaining. We've got Kane Sua, who plays defensive line. Brian Thompson, wide receiver. Tavita Halalilo plays inside linebacker. Henry Banks plays lockdown corner for us.
Lockdown.
And Marlon Moore plays tailback.
So you guys open the season August 26th at Redondo Union. That's going to be a big game right out of the gate. Do you like what you see so far? You know, it's 7-on-7, but you had some spring ball, you know, and got to see, you know, the other guys in the locker room and, you know, come around this fall, maybe some transfers, who knows. But do you like the guys that you have? And obviously you got to be ready for that first game August 26th.
Yes, I like our team a lot. Our young guys, they do a really good job of working hard, and they listen to the leadership. They take it well, and I feel like we have really good leaders on the team. So, yes, I like our team.
How about you, Brian? We'll just go left to right. I'm going to give everybody a chance to talk.
Yes, like I said before, we're playing as a team, and it doesn't, my philosophy and our whole team philosophy is we're only as strong as our weakest link. So we look at our weakest areas and try to improve those just 1 week at a time. We're not going to try to just go all out and just try to kill each other. We're just going to just focus on the little things. Like Coach always says, the little things that matter. Going to make a big improvement in a team.
Because if you work on those little things now, and it's July, you know, when September, October, November rolls around, you've already gone through that process, right?
Yes.
You've worked on those details and whatnot.
Yes.
So what are you excited about for the upcoming football season?
I think it's a huge opportunity for us, especially the first week, and we have a lot of ground to cover. But the summer has been really good for us so far. We got a huge tournament coming up next Saturday at Redondo Union, so you can go check us out there. It's going to be a huge opportunity for us, and I think if we all just take care of our jobs, the rest will just fall apart.
Do you guys put much weight in like the summer tournaments and the 7-on-7? It's like, hey, if we do great, and if we don't do that great, it's not a big deal either, because once we put the pads and the helmet on, I mean, that's football, right?
Yes, the 7 on
Well, I mean, even during the tournaments, we still want to win, of course. But
Yeah.
yeah, we're still mainly focused on during the season, winning a game at a time, like Ryan was saying. So.
And then finally on the end, same thing. I mean, do you put much stock in the 7-on-7?
Yes, I do, but I believe that once pads come on, it's a totally different story because the people that usually don't shine during 7-on-7 usually come out when the pads get on, and they show a different animal inside of them.
So we got the Rancho Verde High School here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. So you play at Redondo Union August 26th. Here's the rest of your non-league. It's at Carter, good game, versus the Burros. Coach, you hooked that up. That's my favorite team, the Burros. Second to Rancho Verde, of course. The Citrus Hill rivalry game, of course. You got to have that in there in non-league play. And then you got King also. So that's a pretty good non-league schedule. You guys are going to learn a lot about this team before you even get to Inland Valley League play. So we'll go again left to right. So just based on that non-league schedule, and I like that Citrus Hill game, obviously, and that Carter game is going to be tough too. But when you look at that non-league schedule, do you feel like even before you get to Inland Valley League play, you're going to know what this team's all about?
I feel like in the early weeks it's going to show a lot of what we need to work on, and then as the season progresses, we'll just get better and better. I feel like we improved the whole season long. Like last season, we just started off not as well as we should have, and then as the whole season went on, we were improving. Even like up until the playoffs, we were still improving as a team. So yeah.
Okay, our preseason, that's a big part. That's going to show us who we are as a team, because that's going to be our harder schedule, and it's going to show our weaknesses, because I know those teams like that are going to try to pick out our weaknesses, but we're going to come together as a team and do what we need to do.
Do you guys let me ask you this. Do you look back at last season, because you guys were 10-3, which is a great season, a great record, but when you look back, you're like, man, we could have been 13-0. Like we could have been undefeated. It could have been us going all the way to state. Like, do you look back and say there was a play or two or there? You know, those the Rev and obviously the Citrus Hill games were so close. They could have went either way. I mean, do you look back on that and say, man, you know what? We're so close. We're right there. We could do this.
You know, we have to, because that shows us that we need improvement, and I wouldn't have it any other way, because now we're so hungry and want that state championship and CIF championship even more than last year, and we're gonna keep on working every day, no matter what it takes, all the way until we can't walk no more.
Yes, and I think when we fell off last year, I feel like we should, Coach was saying not to pick up where we left off, so we just got to restart, reboot, and get it all together in the end and see if we can wheel it in this year. And I believe that our preseason schedule was a huge opportunity for us, especially the first week. You know, that first week will really tell us and show us how we are as a team and really set the tone for the upcoming season. And I believe that we could take it all the way in Rancho Verde.
Do you guys look at last season as motivation, like fuel to like, hey, you know what, let's use that as something to push us forward this year? Or do you say, hey, you know what, let's leave that in the past, you know what, this is this year, we've got new guys on the team, and just forget about what happened last year? I mean, is there a balance somewhere in between the two?
We use last year as motivation because we were so close to making it, and now we get another opportunity because now we're seniors, so we have another chance to make it even further and beat the teams that we didn't get a chance to beat. So.
Now, does Coach Steinberg, does he take it easy on you guys during the summer?
No, he doesn't.
It's not all fun and games,
No.
and going to the beach, and and he works you guys during the summer too.
Yes, and we work ourselves too. It isn't just about coach. We're a team, so every person has to push each other, and we make sure in the weight room nobody takes a rep off, because that rep off can be that little play in the game that we need to win.
Everybody's accountable.
Because if you look at the guy next to you, and he's trying to cut a corner like, oh, coach said do 10 push-ups,
No,
I'm only going to do 8 because nobody's looking at me. That doesn't fly at the ranch.
No, it don't work.
How do you guys hold each other accountable?
We hold the philosophy of we don't lie. We don't keep up with lying. If you're late to the weight room, 50 push-ups, we count the 50. No lying, because I've heard of a motivational speaker. They asked him, "What did you do to be successful?" He said, "Oh, it all started with making my bed." So it starts with the process of making sure you do the little things that you're supposed to do, and everything else will fall in place.
All right, raise your hand. Who knows where Burroughs High School is?
I know it's in the high desert area.
I'm just curious because the Burroughs, you guys know Coach was coach there, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Out in the middle of nowhere, but you got him on the schedule. Was that something years in the making, Coach? I'm just curious. Now I got you in studio. Was that something like, you know what, I want to play those guys again at some point?
You know, myself and the head coach, Todd Mather, who was one of our assistants when I was there, it was something we had talked about. It kind of came about because we were having trouble scheduling another team, and you know, it was a simple thing to do, and it kind of made sense. And you know, we like to play teams from different divisions, different leagues, from different areas. You know, obviously these guys won't have the fortune of traveling up there this year.
It's too bad. But maybe next year for the guys who are returning.
Those guys, that will be a neat.
So it's a home and home series with the Burroughs.
Series,
Is it the Holiday Inn Burroughs?
So it's kind of, you know, like I said, in our non-league, we want to play a variety of teams, different styles from different areas, and this will be, you know, it's in a way kind of, I guess, a neat game for myself. For the players, there's really no extra meaning to it. It's not a game that we have to win anymore. We're, you know, be honest, we want to win them all.
Yeah.
So when that week comes, that'll be the biggest game of the year. Until then, right now, we're just trying to focus on getting better and take care of the little things.
You've had a great run of quarterbacks, Carson Sween going back to Burroughs, but E.J. Stewart this year for the Mustangs. I know he's not here today, but man, great year last year, breakout season. How has he progressed, and are you excited to see what he's going to do this year?
Really excited. When I look back to some of the great guys that I've had the opportunity to coach, you know, they all share some things in common. They all have different styles and stuff, but the one thing that they share in common is they're wired very differently. Guys that go home and they've got football on their mind all the time, and EJ's no different from those guys. I'll get texts from him all the time at night, on the weekends, that he's watching film. What do you think of this, Coach? What do you think of that? I need to improve on this. And you know, when you've got an athlete that is constantly striving at getting better, they're easy guys to coach.
E.J. Stewart's going to have a monster season. I can feel it. And you've had a long track record of quarterbacks. Some guy named Blake Barnett. He panned out okay. He's doing all right for himself at Alabama. And I'm sure E.J. is going to have a big season as well for the Rancho Verde High School here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 a.m. So, guys, with the new CIF Southern Section Playoff Division, you guys are in Division 3. I looked at the other teams in there. The only other one I recognized was Santiago, which could be the Jeff Steinberg Bowl if you ever met them somewhere down the road in the playoffs. But like I said before, did you guys, when the brackets first came out and like the playoff divisions, did you even look at it? I mean, did you even say, oh, you know, that team's out there and they're pretty good? Or like I said before, is it just more what you guys are doing right now during the summer to prepare for that Redondo Union opener?
Right now, we're just focused more on working hard and preparing ourselves to have the best season that we possibly can, and we'll deal with playoffs when it's time to. Right now, we're just taking it week by week.
Is that way too far down the road, like playoffs? Like, man, we can't think about playoffs. Playoffs.
Yes, it's way too far down the road because in playoffs we're going to be a totally different team. We're going to be way better than in the beginning of the season. So we have to progress as a team, and as our skills progress, we need to progress as like our plays and our attitudes too, mentally and physically.
Yeah, I just feel like we should take it one step at a time, 1 week at a time, and just figure out from there. Everything else will fall apart. You know, come playoff time, you know, we'll have it ready. We'll be ready in, you know, Division 3. Here we come.
Do you guys take pride in winning that league title? I mean, is it, you know, obviously you don't want to be that Rancho Verde team to, you know, stub their toe and not win an Inland Valley League championship. So is that kind of, I don't want to say maybe the first goal in a long season is, you know, get that league title, you know, under your belt, and then start looking at CIF, and then who knows, even beyond CIF and look at state.
Yes, anything we can win, we're going to win it. That's it. That's my attitude, at least. Well, our whole team attitude. Anything that is to win or to compete at, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to take the best opportunity possible and give our best shot to it.
Does Coach throw down in the weight room with you guys?
Yes, he does.
Does he pick the music in the weight room?
Sometimes.
I'm just curious, what does Coach pick? I'm just curious. I mean, because look at him. You know, he's a physical specimen over here. I'm sure he can throw it down. But what is he? Is he picking like Barry Manilow or?
Close.
Oh, I'm close. I'm onto
Close.
something.
A little Aerosmith.
Yeah.
Aerosmith. Okay, that's more of his.
New or old?
Well-
I mean, old Aerosmith or the ballad band Aerosmith?
Here's the playlist from White Guy Wednesday.
Wait, step up to the mic because we all got to hear this. Here's the
Playlist
playlist.
from-
This is
White Guy.
playlist from White Guy Wednesday. Ain't No Stopping Us Now by Wayman Tisdale. He was a
Oh,
basketball.
Sacramento Kings.
He was
Yeah,
a basketball player and great sax player, great
Yeah.
musician. Back in Black, AC/DC, Born in the USA, Bruce Springsteen, Breezin' by George Benson,
Huh.
Carry On Wayward Son, Kansas, Don't You, Forget About Me, Simple Minds, Dream On, Aerosmith, Feel So Good by Chuck Mangione, Humble and Kind, Tim McGraw, Jack and Diane, John Mellencamp, 100 Ways, James Ingram, Piano Man, Billy Joel, and Thunderstruck, AC/DC.
Thunderstruck, I can get on board with. So when you guys hear that music,
There's
you're
a
like,
lot
oh
of-
man, I'm fired up. I'm going to throw up some weight today. I'm feeling good. Or is it like, oh, that's Coach's music?
No, it's just the way our team wired to. It doesn't matter what kind of music we listen to. It's just a mentality of we're gonna work today. That's it.
Doesn't matter what's playing,
It
right?
don't matter.
You got to work. You got to put in the work anyways. You got to
Yeah.
grind whatever is coming out of the speakers, right?
Yes.
All right, guys. Final question because we got to wrap up this first segment. So I know you guys are good. I know you're gonna have a big season. I think you're gonna tear it up in Division III for the playoffs. But I like to ask all the teams this. Finish this sentence, and I'll go left to right. For the Rancho Verde Mustangs to be successful in 2016, we must ... Fill in the ... for me as we close out this first segment.
We must play to our best potential and have no regrets.
We must continue the legacy at Rancho and do the little things that count.
We must have everybody on board and everybody having the same goal towards the end of the season, and everything else will fall apart.
We must stay hungry and self-motivated.
We must have a winning mentality and get better every day.
Keep that music pumping in the weight room, right? Coach, you can put these guys to work. I know you said you're doing stuff around the house and staining fences and shampooing carpet. I mean, bonus points, right, for some of these
You're
guys
right.
doing a little extra credit, maybe a couple extra snaps or something on the field, right? All right, guys, I appreciate it. I know you're going to have a big season. Best of luck, especially with that opener against Redondo Union coming up on August 26th. So best of luck this season, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pep.
All right, when we come back on the Inland Sports Show, our exclusive interview with Boston Red Sox pitcher Steven Wright, the pride of Valley View High School, going to his first Major League Baseball All-Star Game. That's next on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM.
We focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Every sport that we offer here, the performance training is definitely specific to what they need. A lot of people actually come in here for the performance training, and also we have our travel ball program with our softball and baseball teams. Our performance training definitely to get quicker, stronger, faster.
focus on the customer here.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM, plus live and amplified around the world on the Inland Sports Channel. We're brought to you by Adrenaline Athletic Training, Ken Sporting Goods, Spoiled, Quick Quality Oil Change, and of course, RE/MAX Advantage. Nobody sells more real estate. And right now, we go straight to the RE/MAX Advantage Celebrity Hotline. And this is a guy people around the Inland Empire are talking about. And what a time to be alive if you're Steven Wright, starting pitcher for the Boston Red Sox. 10 wins this season, All-Star Game selection, and he's on the phone with us right now. Steven, first off, congratulations on this season. Can you point to something why this season has really come together for you, and primarily with the knuckleball?
I mean, it's kind of really hard to point one thing. It's a lot of things have happened, throughout, since going into spring training. Obviously, the opportunity of me starting came up. It was unfortunate that we had a guy go down, but that they needed a guy to step in and kind of fill his spot while he was rehabbing, and I was able to get a couple good starts under my belt, and then but a lot of help to like Tim Wakefield. I worked a lot with Wake, and he's helped me kind of simplify things throughout the season. He's helped me try to stay as consistent as you can, throwing an inconsistent pitch. And so it's one of those things. Like I've had a lot of help with the organization, and I'm just trying to take advantage of it.
Now, your journey with the knuckleball, from what I read, began about 6 years ago. When you first started it, were you a little hesitant to make the move over to the knuckleball, or was it something that you felt like, I could really find some success if I go to this pitch?
Oh, I was definitely hesitant. I was going through my entire life throwing fastballs and sliders like everybody else, and I still, was able to throw a low to mid-90s, but I never had that really swing and miss pitch, which, once you get to pro ball, you gotta have a put away pitch, and I didn't have that, and so it was one of those things that I just became stagnant in Double A. So I really I was getting ready to quit, and then the Indians saw me messing around one day with the knuckleball, and they were like, hey, like that's your out pitch, like you need to start throwing that. When you get to 2 strikes and stuff. And so I did, and then, I went into spring training, thinking that's what I was going to do. And then they ended up bringing Candiotti in, and he was just like, you need to start throwing that, as your only pitch. And then from that point forward, I basically was like, hey, I obviously wasn't going to make it as a regular pitcher, so maybe this is like a last-ditch effort to make it to the big leagues. Unfortunately, for me, it worked out.
Yes, it sounds like you were surrounded by some of the greatest knuckleballers. I mean, you were name dropping right there, and growing up, hearing all those names. I mean, was that pretty special to have you being able to be coached up by these guys who, if I could say, perfected the knuckleball?
Yeah, I mean, working with Candiotti, and I've had opportunities to work with Charlie Huff, and then I work pretty much on a daily basis with Wakefield. It's definitely a blessing because. With Wakefield, he spent 20 years, playing and throwing the pitch away from his family, and he still takes time to come over to spring training in Fort Myers to work with me for a couple weeks during spring. And the same thing with Charlie Huff when I'm back in, Moreno Valley. I'll drive out and we'll meet him. Either I'll drive out to Orange County or he'll drive out to me, and we work together. And just try to. It's all about repetition, and so you try to do it as much as you can to be consistent.
Well, Steven, you're 10-5 on the season. You get your first All-Star Game selection. You mentioned Moreno Valley. Do you have a lot of family and/or friends heading down to San Diego for the All-Star Game on Tuesday night?
Yeah, I do. My mom and dad, my brother and sister coming out. Then I got one of my best friends and his family coming out. I got the guy that Frank Pastore was the guy that taught me the knuckleball, or showed it to me back when I was 9 years old. His wife is coming out, and so yeah, I mean it's gonna be fun. I mean either way, I'm sure there's gonna be more people there than I even know right now. But it's an honor to be able to represent the Boston Red Sox the All-Star Game. I mean I'm not big on the individual awards, but it is really cool. I'm gonna enjoy every minute of it. Especially because we got such a good group of guys going with me. I mean, we got 6 total, with a possible 7th. And so it's just one of those things you take it with strides. It's the first one. I really don't know what to expect, but I'm going to go out there and I'm just going to try and enjoy every minute of it.
And Steven, what's it like being your catcher? I mean, do you have to give him do you have to buy him dinner or something that night? I mean, what's it like having to be the catcher behind the plate when you're on the mound?
I've been lucked out. Ever since I've been with the Red Sox, I've had a lot of good catchers. I think everybody catches me tremendously. It's not easy to do, and the more for me, like I've been throwing it for 6 years now, and so I've seen catchers that can't do it. Like literally, they just cannot do it. And I haven't had that problem here. Like we have a tremendous coaching staff that worked with Wake, so they've been around Wake. Our bullpen coach used to catch Wake. He was the bullpen catcher when Wake was here, so he has experience with it. And this year I've thrown to 3 different catchers: Swihart, Vasquez, and Hannigan. I've had the most experience this year with Hannigan, but I've thrown to Vasquez and Swihart a ton in AAA and in the big league. And so for them, it's definitely a challenge. It's unorthodox. It's something that they're obviously not used to doing. But man, they take so much pride in what they do that it gives me a lot more confidence knowing that I can go out there and I can really get into one with the runner at third, knowing that there's a small chance that it's going to get by them. And all that does is that just speaks volumes of how hard that they work, day in and day out to help me, with catching it, because it's not an easy thing to do.
We're talking with Steven Wright, Boston Red Sox pitcher here on the Inland Sports Show. And Steven, finally, my last question is, man, you've done some amazing things outside of the baseball diamond. You've gone and visited the troops in the Middle East and Europe. You've gone to Africa. How have those experiences kind of shaped the way you approach baseball? Maybe the appreciation maybe you have for the game now.
Yeah, I mean, when you go see the troops, and then when I went to Kenya and spent time in the Mathare Valley, which is one of the most impoverished slums in the world. It just makes you appreciate what you have. I mean, people in America have it. We have it made here. It doesn't matter how political you get or how much you don't like the political world, but we have it so nice here. We have a government that will take care of you if you need it. Over there, they have nothing. And so it's an eye-opening experience to people forget how great we have it here in America. And then, it kind of puts life in perspective that, when I wake up in the morning and I'm having a bad day, it's like, you know what, I still got running water. I still got family that loves me. I still have a job. I still have food on the table if I need it. And those people wake up and they're happy as can be, and they literally have nothing. They don't even know how they're going to get their next meal because they're making less than $1 a day. And the same thing when it comes to the troops, man. Like those guys and those families are going over there to Europe. They're going over to Italy and Germany and Bahrain. I didn't even know where Bahrain was before we went there. And they're over there because their countries asked them to go over there, and they're doing their job day in and day out, and they get no recognition, or at least not the recognition that they deserve by the sacrifices that they make. Because most of those people, they're willing to do the ultimate sacrifice, which is to give their life for their country. The least that we can do is show appreciation for them, for what they do, and to keep us safe. And that's where people get the freedom of speech comes from those guys over there protecting it. And if some people take it, they kind of use it too loosely when you do it over here. But if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have that. And so that's what, for me, I had an opportunity to go show my appreciation, and I jumped on it as fast as I could.
Well, Steven, you perfectly put it in perspective, and wow, what a fantastic season. Congratulations. I know you still have the second half, and the Boston Red Sox are charging hard, trying to get into the postseason, but congrats on the All-Star selection, and best of luck in the second half of the season.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, that's Steven Wright, Boston Red Sox pitcher and Major League Baseball All-Star, the pride of Valley View High School here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. Major League Baseball All-Star Game coming up. It's Tuesday in San Diego at Petco Park. 10-5, nice ERA. I mean, he could actually get the ball when they take the field on Tuesday night in San Diego. So best of luck to Steven Wright. It's kind of like the fountain of youth. He finally found success. I think he's 31, so it took a little bit, but the knuckleball really took him to that next level.
I'm going to predict that he's not going to start, and in fact, he's going to be one of the last pitchers they pull out of the bullpen, if they do, because if they get late in the game, it goes extra innings, he can go like 3, 4, 5, 6 innings, and they've gone extra innings before, so they're probably going to hold on to a guy like that.
And if you're a casual baseball fan, we should remind people that there is value in the All-Star Game. Whatever the league wins it gets home field advantage for the World Series. So if you're a team like the Boston Red Sox, who are already forward-thinking and planning for the postseason, you want to win, right? Like, I mean, you've got to win that All-Star Game.
Absolutely.
So Steven Wright, what a great interview. We're going to stay in touch and hopefully talk more with him as the season progresses and as Boston heads into the playoffs. Fingers crossed for Steven Wright. It was also another big day for a local baseball pitcher. Brooks Pounders out of Temecula Valley High School got called up to the Kansas City Royals. Came in relief the other night for the Royals and actually got the win. He pitched the 9th inning. Kansas City came back, scored a couple runs, so he got the victory in his MLB debut, and his family was on hand. And Zeke, you kind of go back with the family because he went to Temecula Valley, but they're from Riverside originally, right?
Yeah, Brad Pounder's actually Riverside Poly. I think he holds the career home run record at UC Riverside still. Played in the Padres organization. He got all the way to AAA. Back problems actually ended his career, but he was quite a baseball player, a great hitter. It's kind of amazing. He's got a son who's known for pitching because he was, in his day, a great hitter. Hit a lot of home runs for UC Riverside. But Brad is also connected to Spoiled.
Is he?
Bill Navigato in a
Another
prior life
sponsor
had a company that was like Spoiled. It was called Grease Monkey, and it was a 10-minute lube and oil change place. They opened in Tava Lane's parking lot, if you know where that is here in Riverside. Tava Lane's no longer there. It's now the LA Fitness. But at any rate, there was a Grease Monkey 10-minute oil change, and when he was in his off season, he was actually hurt, had back surgery, and couldn't play. He had to take the year off. He was a grease monkey. He was working.
Was he really?
Bill Navigato, yeah. It's good stuff, yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
He hated me, but it's okay. No, but he's a good dude. And the funny thing was, he was like, you know the pride he has in his son. He's literally crying on national television. He's so excited about his kid getting the win and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And when they talked to him, the one thing I wanted to bring out that was really interesting, I want to know what garage is Alex's garage, because Brad Pounder said that there are people that go to Alex's garage that have really helped Brooks out get himself to the major leagues. And I'd like to interview those people because I'd like to find out what that's all about, because it sounds like it was people that hang out, probably watch baseball, whatever,
Yeah.
some guy's house. They'd all hang out and they're all, Brooks is a big benefactor of these guys getting together and doing what they do. Maybe they helped him out with, bills and what have you. I have no idea. But it's interesting.
That's a good story.
That was a good takeaway. I'm trying to find it. So please, call dzink@pe.com if you can give me a lead on that. I want to know who Alex is and where his garage is, because I'd love to talk to him.
Well, you brought it up, and we put it out on social media on the Inland Sports Twitter feed at @inland_sports that Brad, they actually put him on camera quite a bit when Brooks got the victory. And his dad was losing it, and he was crying, and he was pacing around. And
his mom was too.
Yeah. That's a pretty special moment.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
I mean, think about his dad, he spent his life trying to get to the major leagues, and I think it's kind of cathartic a little bit for Brad, along with the fact he was right there but never got there because of a back injury, and now his son finally made it there, and it took his son 7 years in the minors to get there. So, and he's throwing gas. I don't know if you watched him pitch, but he was dealing. He was doing some good stuff.
I know Kansas City's had some injuries, and that's why he got called up. But hopefully, if he pitches well enough, he'll stick and he'll find his a spot in the bullpen over there for the Kansas City Royals. So that was pretty cool. All right, so the other big baseball news, and this all happened yesterday, and Zink called me out of the blue and said, "Did you hear this?" And I said,
"I had breaking news for once. You didn't know it. I told you."
I couldn't believe. I thought you were joking. That Steve Madril, the face of 3rd in Chicago at JW North, was leaving to go to King High School. He's going to call in just a second. We're going to talk to him about it. But I couldn't believe it. You called me, and I was like, "Zink, you're wrong. There's no way."
I knew I had to get it to you. The best part about it was when he called me back, because I called him and he didn't answer his phone. I left a message. He called me back. When I picked up the phone, I said, "Mr. 3rd in Chicago." And he kind of laughed. And I said, I basically insinuated, "So what is it going to be up on King? Is that like the corner of Wood and Van Buren? What is it now?"
Yeah.
I mean, what is it going to be?
We're going to ask him. We're going to ask him in just about a minute. What's the new, I guess, what do you call it, slogan, a battle cry?
Baseball hits the wood? I don't know.
Well, right now, let's go to the Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change Celebrity Hotline. He is a dear friend of ours, and he's also the new head coach at King High School. It is the great Steve Madril, Coach, first off, congratulations on the King job. And I got to be honest, Zink broke the news to me, and I was shocked. I'm like, no, Madril's leaving North? But hey,
he thought the world had come off its axis.
I said that's not right. That's someone else is just putting that out there. But in all honesty, congratulations. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, what was it about the King job? Why would you want to leave North and go to King High School?
Well, you know, Pep, first off, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. You know what? I think the biggest factor, right off the bat, when I heard that the job had opened up, is the fact that my wife works there. So she's been teaching Spanish there for about 14 years, and everything she talks about, she always raves about King. And I've obviously been around King a little bit, going to different dances and stuff like that, football games with her. And, the fact that about 4 months ago we had our third child. So, for us to be at the same site now and go to those same football games and take our family along with us, I think it's going to be an easy move for us. So it's going to be a lot more convenient. And so, it's going to be nice for our family.
Now, you were able to resurrect that JW North program, who was struggling a little bit when you got there 10 years ago. Obviously, you won a CIF Southern Section Division I championship with the Huskies. When you look at King, they're not in bad shape. They've got a lot of talent. We had the guys on the show, and there's a lot of guys that are D1 commits, or they're thinking about the Major League Baseball draft in a year or two. I mean, they've got talent. When you look at this King team, I don't know if you had much time to examine who they got or who's coming back or any of that, but I mean, you must be excited about what you're getting.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a big part of, the nice thing about going over there, man, is the fact that, the program is already established. Ken Scott has done a really good job over there. And, for us to go into a program that has so much talent, and as far as, not only at the school already, but also in that area, that Orange Crest area, loaded with, a bunch of, really, really good young baseball players. And for us to go over there, it's going to be nice to, have that steady flow of talent coming in, and to be able to work with it and kind of, put our little stamp on, the things that we want to do, for the program. It's going to be fun, man. So we're definitely excited.
We got Steve Madril on here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM. Coach, the question on everyone's mind, it's really concerning David Zink over here. He's been up all night long thinking about this because you pegged JW North as third in Chicago, and it caught on like a wildfire, and everyone loved it. They were proud of the school, and it was something they could really hang their hat on. What is King going to be? Zink said maybe Van Buren and Wood. I mean, it just doesn't roll off your tongue. I mean, what is King High School going to be?
Yeah, you know what? I have no idea, but I'm sure that we'll go there and figure something out. The whole third Chicago thing kind of just came up, out of the blue, by a couple of our kids, and we kind of just ran with it, and it was a way for us to show like the school pride and stuff, and so our kids, they loved it. So obviously, we kind of ran with it, and it kind of just took on a life of its own kind of thing. But I mean, as far as King goes, we're gonna go in there and kind of just see what we want to do as far as create some kind of like pride in the program. So I mean, I really have no idea what our little moniker, our slogan is going to be, but I'm sure we're going to think of something.
Hey, Coach, how about the Crameria Kings?
Oh, there you go.
That was horrible. It was an attempt. I don't know, but Wood seems to have there's bats, and it's a street right out in front of your school. Work with that.
Yeah, I know. Maybe it's Wood and all those streets up there. Trout, Wine, Van Buren. We're gonna have to figure something out.
Well, Coach, I know you have a busy Saturday. You're hanging out with your wife today, but we really appreciate you checking in here on the Inland Sports Show. Congratulations on the gig at King High School. We know you're going to do big things.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right, that's Steve Madril, the new head coach at King High School, leading the baseball program. And maybe it's just like the Wood Boys.
The Wood.
I don't. You know what I mean? But you're right. The Wood Road's right there. They got to do something.
And you got
with
wood bats.
Yeah, there's something there. I know Steve Madril's a lot smarter than us. He'll figure something out, but there's something there.
It'll be far cooler when he makes up the name. I'm thinking of stupid names, but really, truthfully. Anybody? Intern? Anybody?
Let him stew about it. We're going to hit a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk RCC football. Cameron had a chance to talk to head coach Tom Kraft. He's going to break down that conversation when we come back here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM.
Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
That we offer here, the performance training is definitely specific to what they need. A lot of people actually come in here and for the performance training, and also we have our travel ball program with our softball and baseball teams.
1350 and Fox Sports Radio 1350.com. Now here's more with Pep on the Inland Sports Show.
We're taking over the galaxy, one great interview at a time. Jeff Gorman lurking in the hallways like Palpatine in the Senate, right? Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. More importantly, live and amplified around the world on the Inland Sports Channel. Please hit that subscribe button while you're checking that out. We've got over 400,000 views. 300 of those were from the baseball brawl that we had, which went viral, which helped. It helped our channel. It helped the website, so that was pretty cool. We're brought to you by Adrenaline Athletic Training, Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change, and Remax Advantage. Nobody sells more real estate. I got some breaking news. I want to share this with everybody. Ken Sporting Goods is on board with Inland Sports, and for football season, we're going to have a Player of the Week. And the Player of the Week is going to get a very special, fancy T-shirt from Ken Sporting Goods that's going to have Inland Sports and Ken's on it. And it says something like, "I'm the Inland Sports Athlete of the Week, Player of the Week," and they're going to wear it back to their campus and be like the big guy on campus. Super cool, right?
I think they should put your face on it, too.
My face? Oh, they want to actually encourage them to wear it to school. They don't want people like bury it in their, dresser somewhere. But that's pretty cool. That's going to be coming up in August, our partnership with Ken's Sporting Goods. We're excited about that. All right, we've got the Paloma Valley Tournament coming up today. Starts actually in just a couple minutes, kicks off at noon. It's wall-to-wall, 7-on-7 coverage. There's also a lineman competition, a kicking competition, but a lot of great schools there. Vista Murrieta, Citrus Hill, Cajon, of course, the host school, Paloma Valley. We're going to be out there. We're going to have the semifinals and the finals live on the Inland Sports Channel, and we're also going to be getting just tons of good B-roll and interviews throughout the day as well. So that's coming up later tonight, so check this out. Go back to the Inland Sports Channel about, I would say, 7:30, and we'll be live with your semifinal and final coverage from Paloma Valley High School, the Southwest County Passing Tournament. Other football news. So RCC, traditionally one of the best programs in the states, always talking state titles, even national titles for the Tigers. They've got a great team coming back. They were 8-3 last year. A lot of D1 caliber guys on this year's team. And our own Cameron Trudell had a chance to go talk to head coach Tom Kraft, entering his 7th season at RCC. And Cameron, I listened to the interview, and a lot of the talk was about just the fact they've got so many great players, and a lot of guys who went D1, and they're called bounce back, so they actually go back to junior college to improve maybe where they're going to go to school. So, I mean, what did you gather from the conversation with Tom Kraft?
It just sounded like he is real big in the Inland Empire, and he thinks that there's a lot of talent here, and it kind of gets overlooked about the rest of the country, and guys that bounce back just want to come home and play for a great program, and it seems like he's doing a great job over there.
Now, if you look at their roster, even like last year's roster, you're like, okay, I remember that guy, he was a stud in high school, that guy was a stud in high school. Like, really, if you just go down the roster, it's just like a who's who from the Inland Empire of all these high school stars, and guys who maybe went off to Oregon or Cal, and they bounced back to RCC. I think one of them was Craig Lee from Redlands High School. He's at RCC now. I mean, so they got some great players.
Yeah, they do, and he seems really excited about this season, and he thinks that, they're going to do great things, and, they have a lot of talent over there, so, it'll be interesting to see what they do this year.
All right, here's a little snippet of the interview with Tom Kraft, the head football coach at RCC that Cameron did. You can get the whole interview on our channel, but here's a little bit of what Tom Kraft had to say, because a lot of his guys are getting Division I attention.
I've got a number of guys I've got a number of guys looking at our offensive linemen right now, our center, our right tackle, and so Cal was then looking at Seth Octa. We got a bounce back from UCLA. There's a kid from Redlands, Craig Lee, and so there's a lot of people. Ian Feber, there was a lot of people that were interested in him, but he didn't get any Division I offers, so he's decided to come back because he wants to be a Division I guy. And so, there's guys that are in that situation that are utilizing this opportunity to take advantage of that, and if they have a great year, then it'll change their college experience.
Guys, and so Cameron, talking to Tom Kraft, and they're already like in meetings and stuff, right? I mean, they're already game planning and getting ready for the upcoming season.
Yeah, when I went to go talk to him, he came out of a meeting to do the quick interview, and the players, were in their own room. They're two separate rooms. The one coach's room and their office over there. They're going over film, and the players were in the other room going over their own film, and they were just working hard already, for the season, and I think they're going to do great things after talking to him, and I talked to one of the players too, and he seems really excited about what's going to happen this year.
Yeah, I mean, the bar's high at RCC. There's no doubt. I mean, traditionally one of the best programs in the state, and they play in a tough conference, but they're always right there, one of the top-ranked teams in the entire state, and also some of that national title talk as well surrounds the RCC program. But a lot of D1 caliber guys. He pointed out Seth Octa getting some looks, the former Vista Marietta High School running back. Craig Lee out of Redlands High School is at UCLA. He's a bounce back at RCC. So they've got a lot of talent. I think Tom Kraft has a lot to work with. So good job, Cameron, on the interview.
Thank you.
You had to track him down a little bit, right?
Yeah, I did. It was a little hard work, but he's a good guy. So
it was like a Where's Waldo finding Tom Kraft on that
exactly.
RCC campus.
Busy
and Jeff
guy.
Gorham hooked it up. Jeff, I don't know why you're lurking in the hallways. It's kind of creeping me out just a little bit. Why don't you? Come on, you can step in here. I mean,
I'm hiding.
You don't have to be bashful.
No, I'm hiding.
I heard Jeff's actually going to help us with the Paloma Valley High School tournament tonight.
I don't know if I'm going to help. I'm going to shadow and find out what's going on with this high school football passing tournament. Look forward to it. It's close to my house, and get a nice afternoon getaway with the guys.
If I could describe it, it's like wall-to-wall 7-on-7. 12 games, all going on at once, 30 minutes, high scoring, tons of good highlights.
Hey, I like high scoring, so if it's not soccer, but I do like indoor soccer.
I saw you at a Fury
that's
game.
Right. Yes, that's true.
You know what? I'm going to go through my phone. I'm going to dig up that old picture of you and I on the floor at the Fury game.
That was a great time. Great family time at the Fury Fernandez.
I think I hooked that up for you.
Tickets.
I got you free tickets.
That might have been it, yes.
Jeff isn't spending a dime on indoor soccer.
No, I'm looking forward to it. It'd be fun to go out there today and watch those guys, see some old friends, and have them go at it.
Bert Esposito's your boy at Paloma Valley.
Yep, he used to be a Ramona Ram for a while.
It'd be like just chatting with him while he's trying to coach his kids up.
Yes, I will.
Hey, another thing, Bert.
Yeah. So that's tonight. We're going to be live on the Inland Sports Channel about 7:30 with the semifinals and the finals. We're going to put all the interns to work. They're going to shoot video. They're going to be the play-by-play. I even brought the wireless mic, so maybe we'll stick one of them on the sideline so they can wander around and,
bring some hot dogs.
Interview during the match.
Maybe we'll do a hot dog contest on the sidelines. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen tonight. Drew's like, nah.
Thank you.
Only if Zink's involved, because Zink will dominate. I mean, people were comparing his comeback victory in the hot dog contest to like the Cavaliers coming back 3-1 to the Golden State Warriors. I mean, it was like that's what sports scholars were comparing that to.
He was the talk of the town in downtown Riverside. I think I
was
saw.
he really?
I
think we're talking about Zeke.
I think
he's right.
I think there was pictures posted all over the downtown area of Zeke eating hot dogs.
They were all over the newsroom. I'll tell you that.
I did see that.
All right, we've got a couple minutes left here. This is something that we got away from the last couple weeks, and I want to bring it back because we like to ask the interns, what did you learn today? Maybe it's something behind. I know Jeff's like, man, this is a bad question. This is too open-ended. But maybe there was something about the program, about the world of broadcasting. Maybe it was about one of our interview guests. But we used to do this with intern Ja Rule, with intern World Famous, with intern No Nickname Nick. And we used to ask him at the end of the show if we had a couple minutes left, what did you learn today? Because you got to go back to your school, and the professor's going to say, you had to learn something. What was your big takeaway from hanging out on a real live show? Well, something close to it at least. You got stuck with us. But we'll start with you, Jonathan. We'll go left to right. What did you learn today on the one and only Inland Sports Show?
being prepared to just get a guest for the next week. You know, your show might end, but you got to be ready next week. Having guests line up and being constantly in the pulse of the news and things like that, you just have to know who you're
the heartbeat
targeting.
And he's right, because Madril, you didn't find out about that till yesterday afternoon.
Well, good thing Madril's my boy, so I hit him up. You know me, I got on the cell phone. So I just
You never would have hit him up, though.
What?
You never would have hit him up.
Yeah, you had to tell me. I was driving in the car.
Plugging himself right now.
I know, he is.
I'm reminding him that he doesn't get all the stories.
But let me jump in there real quick, because next Saturday we should have San Diego State head basketball coach Steve Fisher. He's going to talk about the Inland Empire, of course, Kawhi Leonard, some of the top players that come out of here.
He's going to give a coach's clinic in studio.
That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah, San Diego State, that's my ex-club coach, Ray Bearfield, and his son Cedric's at Utah now. So
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
all those guys are out there.
Yeah, so we're going to talk to Coach Fisher a little bit about, obviously, Kawhi Leonard and a lot of the IE guys that helped him build that Aztecs program.
And Jeff.
And Jeff. Jeff Gore. We'll ask about Jeff Gore.
That
He'll
guy.
be like, hey, one of the guys that helps you at your camps. He'll be, I don't know.
He's like, the only
who he
reason I
is."
let him there is
Yeah.
because I see his kid's got a lot of talent.
Yeah,
One
a big upside.
So I put up with Jeff because I want his kid.
Cameron, what did you? I mean, you had the big exclusive interview with Tom Kraft at RCC. But what else? What did you learn today on the show?
Today I learned, I would say you got to stay well connected. I was really surprised that Steven Wright left, and then how he got on the show so quickly. I thought that was.
That's how we do.
I thought you were well prepared for that and on your toes. So yeah.
That's how we do. Steve Madril, like I said, I got a lot of cell phone numbers. No big deal. I mean, it's not a big deal. Steven Wright, not a big deal. Drew, what did you learn today on the Inland Sports Show?
I think I learned the number one thing is that if you need to fill time at the end of the show,
The interns on blast.
just put the interns on and have them talk about whatever.
What have they learned about the show?
I know. Yeah, when Pep runs out of
This
stuff.
is like Seinfeld. It's a radio show about nothing.
About nothing, yes. Aaron, what did you learn today?
I don't know about what I learned today, but I know that editing footage on iPhones is really hard, and it's not as good quality as you would really hope for it, and working with it is difficult.
You edited on your iPhone?
iMovie. It's on an app because, my laptop doesn't have any space on it, so I edited all on my phone.
Oh my goodness.
And the quality is just
That
really
sounds like a
hard.
headache.
It's not that bad. It just, the quality, it's really disappointing because in your mind you have like this beautiful image of what you think it's going to be,
Yeah.
and it never is. So,
Well, you also had to compress it, right, to get it off your phone?
yeah.
Yeah, that's what made it not
That's
look
rough.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
And Jeff, what did you learn today?
I learn everything. Every time I come in here, it's a learning experience. I learn more about Greg every week. Zink brought in Danishes for everybody, and I'm the only guy that had
I'm
one.
gonna have one. I'm
They're
gonna have one.
fantastic.
You learned it was Colton's birthday.
Yeah, Greg
Hey,
got a
wait.
shout out.
I'd like to say happy birthday to my city, Colton, 129 years old. You know I'm going to be out there celebrating tonight.
How do you celebrate Colton? What do you do on its birthday?
Well, they're actually going to have fireworks at the Colton High Stadium. So
Like we haven't had enough
we're
of
gonna
those
have a
this
good
month.
time out there celebrate. They're going to have food. Everybody's welcome. It starts at 4 o'clock all the way till 9 o'clock fireworks.
And when you go to Colton, just meet at the store because I think there's like one store.
Nothing but love for Colton here on the Inland Sports
Yeah,
Show.
go South Colton.
No! There's a difference.
Big difference in Colton. Hey, quick shout out to Vista Marietta High School's Michael Norman at the U.S. Olympic Trials right now in Eugene, Oregon. Won his semifinal heat last night. So the finals are tonight, 5:42. If you want to check that out. Michael Norman trying to be the first high school runner since 1976 to qualify for the Summer Olympics. And he was in a heat last night, a semifinal heat with guys that I recognize, like other Olympians. I'm like, oh man, he's got a tough heat. This is going to be really tough for Michael Norman. Blew past him like they were standing still. I was
Who did he
floored.
hold up?
Justin Gatlin.
Yeah.
I remember Justin Gatlin. I was like,
from
no
96.
way.
He was in the 96 game.
So anyways, it's pretty cool. He's from Vista Marietta High School. He's an IE guy, and he's on the verge of making Olympic history.
And did you see when Gatlin came up to congratulate him on winning that heat, the smile that came on Michael Norman's face?
Yeah.
He's like, wow, this guy.
They said it was like passing the baton.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
really, like Michael Norman's the next huge star in
was
American
great.
track and field. It's all brought to you by Adrenaline Athletic Training. AdrenalineAthletic.com is the website. Spoiled, quick, quality oil change in Riverside. Bill, I'm on my way. Don't close up shop. I'm bringing my car right now. We're going to change the oil on our way down to Paloma Valley High School. And, of course, RE/MAX Advantage. Nobody sells more real estate. 909-307-5665 is the phone number. Real estate escrow loans, they hook it all the way up. Plus, they got the Stormtrooper beanie giveaway at the 66ers tonight. Don't worry, Jeff. I'm going to hook it up for you. No worries. For Steve Madril, we appreciate him. Steven Wright, Boston Red Sox pitcher, and, of course, the Rancho Verde High School football team. We appreciate you joining us. We'll see you next week. And tonight, of course, at the Southwest County Passing Tournament. I'm Pep Fernandez. See you next time on Inland Sports.
Who knocked down the Lakers?